serious. That's it. We're live. Ed, it's your cue.
Hold on.
It's finally here, right? It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday.
Oh no, seriously. It's that time of the week. What is going on, everybody? I want to dance like this guy. All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. What's going on?
Good morning. Happy Friday. What's up,
Happy
everybody?
Friday.
Oh, this is funny. All right. Good morning, guys. We're gonna have to work on our theme song. This is kind of very
I
good.
think that should be it.
This is what we're talking about today. Open house follow-up strategies, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody. I hope everyone took good notes last week about.
I hope so too.
Yeah, hosting nice open houses and stuff. And most importantly, is now follow up because they say the gold is in the follow up, right?
Yeah.
And we wanted to brush on turning those open house guest lists into nice lead funnels, right?
Absolutely.
Please join us. How many people do it? We have one person watching us. Okay, I think we need
Don't worry about it.
numbers. Oh, now it's 0.
You see, now you said something, and now they left. Awesome.
It's okay. It happens.
It's okay.
It happens.
Let's keep going. It doesn't matter, everybody. So we'll jump on eventually. All right, guys. Open house follow-up. I just wanted to share with you a little photo that shows sales statistics. Okay, do you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it says 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. And this is a slide that I took from carrot.com. I guess they have a whole thing about follow-up. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. Like they call once and that's it. And we've been guilty, all of us at one point or another in our career, hopefully at the very beginning of doing that. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. So basically almost quite impossible. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. And 5% of sales on the third. And we keep on going on as so on and so forth. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. And I believe in this day and age should be about 14th to 15th contact. So
Holy moly.
What does it?
How many of us have actually gotten to the 12th or the 15th contact? That's pretty interesting information.
Yeah. I mean, with all the technology that we have available to us, I believe you're able to achieve this level of contact. Am I wrong? Am I right? Right?
I think you can.
Right.
Now with virtual assistants, now with automated services through a CRM platform. I mean, it's endless.
Right. Let's not even talk about virtual assistant because you got to pay those people. I know within our brokerage, we've been offered a great tool called KV Core. Last week, we talked about using the Open House app, which I guess you're using that more than I do. Because once you have, those signups, it goes directly into your CRM, and then they can have like a little follow-up campaign and you being told to call them, text them, email them. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this KV4 gem that we have. Let me stop sharing our screen.
Before we do
that. Yeah.
Know the importance of, so that when folks are looking at this, know that the importance of following up is important no matter how you see it, right? Remember, open house is a lead gen portion. Following up is pretty much the gas to the engine. So you really need to follow up with every buyer and every person that walks through your door every single time. I can tell you that I've actually had conversations with a lot of agents in the sense of saying how much they've lost for not following up with someone. So you have to really make sure to follow up consistently and effectively every single time.
Right.
So,
right.
So yeah.
So
I just wanted to plug that in real quick.
Right. I mean, to me, I believe that people that are coming to open houses, even if they're just at the point of just looking around to figure out, things, they are, to me, like at the beginning stage, and they should still be followed up on. And especially if you're working with buyers, that's a great way of generating those extra leads. So let's say you're a new agent. Yes,
right.
You should do open houses right now. And if you, like I was talking to you guys earlier, yes, I mean, we have a 52-week year, but if you do open houses 30 to 40 times a year and you get 5 contacts, 12 contacts, 17 contacts for an open house, 200 contacts, depending on how, successful that open house was, those are a lot of leads to follow up on, and ultimately you'll get a buyer. The key is how often and when and what to say. Right?
Ooh, big keys.
Yeah.
Because everyone thinks that there's a magical script, like there's magical words that you can say to get them to just say, "Oh my God, you are the person I've been looking for to help me find this home." But there isn't a magical script. Like I said last time at the training, look, the open house is the stage for you. Is the stage for you to present who you are as a realtor, what benefits and value you hold, and how you can assist them through that process. And if they feel comfortable and confident that you're going to be a good representative for them, they're going to go with you, period. If they don't, they're going to find somebody else.
Sure. I've somewhat had very busy open houses lately, so I am not the best person to basically bond. But again, my following up with agents like buyers, it's like an apology. I'm like, thank you for coming to my open house. I'm so sorry. All I was able to do during that time was just direct the public, making sure they wouldn't bump into each other because of those COVID requirements. And I'm glad you came back. Just wanted to have basically just pick your brain. Did you like the house? Did your client like the house? Is there anything I can do? You have any questions? And so on and so forth. So my script is more of an apologetic one than anything else right now. Ed, what do you do?
I mean, look, you guys are getting a lot of people attending the open houses, but like I mentioned last time, I like using the open house app that we have through our brokerage, through our CRM platform. So with that, correct. So with that app, what we're able to do is from the beginning, once they sign in, you minimize the risk of getting a false number, of not understanding their handwriting because it's all digital. The perk about it is that once they submit their information, they're going to get an email or a text confirming, "Hey, thanks for stopping by the open house. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, reach out," whatever the case might be. That's a touch point, and sometimes we're too busy to follow up on that. So that's something that'll take the weight off your shoulders in a sense and say, okay, this part would follow up for me. I can follow up on the other end. Right? Where do I normally come in? The next day. I always like to give people a day. Why? I feel if something is good today, it'll be good tomorrow. Right? I don't want to apply any pressure. And I don't know how many times you guys get someone that comes in and says, "Hey, I don't want somebody that's going to be pushy. Don't push me to try to buy something. I hate pushy people, salesy people." That's all we get. We're sales. But if we focus more on relationship building, then we would be able to just build that relationship, and then they would want to make the purchase on their own, So when I follow up with them, I mean, I have a conversation. I don't know about you guys, but I just conversate with them. "Hey, what did you like most about the property? B, what did you like least about the property?" And based off of the information, my last question is, based off of what we saw today, where do you feel comfortable if you were to submit an offer? Where do you feel comfortable submitting an offer?
Wow. Okay. And you go for the kill right then and there. No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Hey, I don't want to say it's so much of the kill. It's just like I said. I mean, I use the open house as a stage.
Called,
it's a warm call.
let me use the
It's a
proper
warm touch
term.
point.
It's a call for action. I shouldn't say let's go for the kill. I'm very politically incorrect. I apologize to the world.
Well, no, you're
Action.
again. You're probably right about what he was trying to do. I think he was just trying to close.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it was. He was just trying to close, make sure that if they have an offer, that there you are, you have a buyer ready to close out this unit.
Yeah.
So
what's your approach, Israel? What's your approach?
Yeah, it's a bit similar to what Ed does. I generally ask for feedback when I speak with them while I'm at the open house, and then I also ask for feedback again when I call them or email them. Versus, depending on the information that I have, I do use the open house app as well. And again, it's the benefits behind that is. One, it's more concise information in the sense that it's legible, right? So now you have that information. Now you're able to provide that particular buyer, buyer or seller some information and educate them whatever they need to be educated. But the whole point of it is when you're following up, and what I do is follow up, it's mostly asking for feedback to see if they're willing and interested in buying that particular home. And if they're not, to see what are they looking for. Right, in order for me to start working with them, because the whole point of that is to really see if it makes sense for us to work together, and to see how motivated they are to buy a home.
Right.
Because yes, what happens is that regardless, you can have 3 people walk in, or you can have 150 people walk in, but not everybody are actual buyers. There are some out there who are considered lookers. Right. So it's really weathering out those who are considered lookers, those who are really motivated, and those who are just not ready right now. And that's pretty much what I do. The way I follow up is I use the 3 senses of calling, texting, and emailing.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, because a lot of people don't even answer your calls. Even to your open house, they have your card. Of course, they don't remember, they don't know that number. So most of the time, they're not going to respond. I find that I get a lot more responses via text. Do you guys find that too?
Yeah. I do.
It's weird for me to say this because I'm in that transition of yes, I love text, but I'm really feeling more of that energy when I talk to somebody on the phone.
Sure.
Because it translates better, right?
Actually, working with agents, real estate agents don't talk; they just text. It's okay.
See, in that part, it depends, and this is actually what I'm going through right now with Priscilla on the deal. We spoke to an agent, but he kind of has been responding to me via text and email, and I'm like, I can't gauge the conversation via text and email. Like, I need to speak with you, and it's like, let's talk, and it's more like this is what it is via text. So it's almost like.
Well, the thing I'm finding is that it's certain cultures, right? Certain people, certain agents that we speak with, not all of them feel like they have great English. So, and I've had a couple of them like that, and it's okay. So they rather do it via text, and that's fine. And I get what you're saying, Ed, because honestly, the best way to engage really, when you're texting, you don't get that emotion, you don't get that feeling of what that person's talking about. But when you do it, when you're speaking on the phone, you get all of that. So the problem is that with them, sometimes the words that they want to use is not the words, so they use text, and it's okay with me. But at the end of the day, what I really want them to tell me is, I haven't accepted all offer, and let's move forward.
Right.
So,
and then, would you go to the extent to actually basically go on their social media and messenger them or DM, whatever, if they don't answer to any, if they don't answer to email, to text, or to phone calls? Would you go to that extent?
I mean, in my opinion, I actually wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I would stick to the information that was given. So if they gave me a phone number and an email, that's what I'm going to continue to follow up on. I feel like if you reach out to somebody via Instagram or text, like, hey, I've been calling you. And then I just, KV Core offers this nice little research platform where it searches all your information, and I found your Facebook. so
Yeah.
are you still interested in this property? Or like, because you haven't been picking up my phone calls. Like, I think
No, I
that
would say
would
it.
be
Right.
I'm
weird,
like,
you know?
especially for when we're able to call, expired and so on and so forth. That KV call
Yeah.
platform would get their social media, and I'm like, I've been trying to reach you by phone. You're not answering, so here I am on Facebook. Hello.
So let me ask this question. I mean, look, you try to email, you try to text, you try to call. You know, in a sort of sense, do you feel like it's their loss versus your gain?
I don't know because and then what do you do? I mean, you do this maybe. Okay, so the KV Core campaign for the open house has how many touches? 4 or 5? Not
A
14.
lot.
A lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. Some cases 20, others is just
Well,
14 touches. So it depends on which one you use.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to continue. Sorry. I don't know if it's going to continue to follow up as far the open house. But what I do know is that once you subscribe to that, it actually puts you on an alert campaign of properties that are similar to what you were interested in.
Yeah.
So that's what it's going to start to do. So they're going to continue to have touch points probably on a daily basis of like, hey, this property is new to the market, or hey, this property just got a price reduction, things like that.
Right. And then I guess you can move them to a different regular buyer prospect campaign, modify.
Correct.
Right.
And if you see they look at stuff, because sometimes they take a while to answer because there is no real interest in purchasing yet. They keep the open house because it's a public open house. And I don't think we should discard those people yet. I've had people I could not reach for a year. And then they finally, at some point, they send you a random text, and then they ghost you again for 2 months. But again, it's not you. It's whatever is happening with them. And it's up to you to stay in touch with those guys and really monitor what they're looking at. Because again, with this great CRM, we can see what they're looking at, whether emails they're opening or not. Right? And we should take advantage of that. Yeah.
So let me piggyback on that real quick. So for those that, I mean, if you're interested in working on the CRM, or if you have still working with your Excel spreadsheet, because there are still those who are still doing that,
there's nothing wrong with the Excel spreadsheet.
Nothing wrong with that at all. You still can categorize. You should always categorize your buyers or sellers, through I think you use it, and I believe also the ABC system. For those who are ready to move forward, ready to buy something, ready to sell, those who are really highly motivated. That would normally be my A's, right? And then B's are those who are kind of not ready yet, just need a little nudge, or just got to wait a little bit. That would be my B's. And then C's are just like, I'll talk to you next year kind of thing. Right. And really to gauge on whether or not they're actually ready or not ready, and really categorize them as you're going through your CRM and your follow-ups.
Right. So let's say you're talking to those people that are not necessarily ready. So your first phone call is, okay, so what did you think about the house? A, you're interested. Let's move on with the offer. B, you're not interested in this house. So now what? What do you guys say?
Wait, which one are we going with? Because I heard A and B at the same time.
I know. So we have the first phone call where we're saying, here, did you like this house? We thank you for coming to my open house. Pop, pop, pop. Did you like the house? A, yes, love it. You want to make an offer? Yes. I'm going to offer $15,000 over asking price, and I'm going to pay all cash. And it's great. All right, that's scenario number one.
Love.
I know.
Awesome.
Scenario number two, it's I don't care for that house. Now, what do we say?
You want to take one head and I'll take the other?
However you want to dissect this, my man.
I mean,
all right.
It's
well, all right. I'll do the latter of the two. So
yes.
The latter of the two is they don't like the house. Why not? Kidding. But the point is, it's perfect, right? Anyways, the point is, what I do is right away is actually qualify them as buyers. In other words, you don't have that opportunity to do that when you're at the open house, depending on how big your open house is. Most times you don't. So I qualify them. I started wondering, what are they looking for? What is their homes want should look like? What is their wishes and want? And then start working with them, in finding that next home that they're looking for.
Right.
Because that home may not have the same amount of rooms that they're looking for. That home may not have the size of the living room that they're looking for, or kitchen, or the right fixings, so on and so forth. So I start asking questions in order to qualify them in finding out their wishes and wants. And then, of course, add in one or two, what are your deal breakers, right? Because you don't want to waste time. So you ask those questions in the sense of what was your deal breaker for that open house? What made you not want to move forward? Would help you actually determine what kind of house they're really looking for in the future. So that's what I do with that.
Right. Ed, what do you do?
So if that's not the home that they're looking for, right? And again, this is assuming that you've already collected the information, that they've already submitted the docs. Let's say you were able to book the appointment for the open house and they submitted their pre-approval, if that house is not for them, at least you already know from a financial standpoint, they actually qualify for a specific amount. So now you should be a little more confident in taking them out because, hey, at least they got their pre-approval. They're ready to rock and roll. You can, what I would normally say is, look, great. Are you looking for homes specifically in this neighborhood? They came to this area. They came to this open house. I have an idea of what they're looking for if they showed up. If you ask the right questions when they were there, they should have been able to disclose what they're looking for, how they feel when they walk around. So with all that information, you can then ask them, are you looking for are you looking specifically in this neighborhood, or are you looking in other areas? Are you open-minded to other areas? Are you only looking for homes that are attached or fully attached? So it's almost like you're going back to that question of what is it that you're looking for? If this home isn't for you, let me help you find the right home. This is the process that I can walk you through, you know, and that's what they really want. At the end of the day, they can find all the information on their own. They really don't need us. Zillow comes up more than ever and we hate it, right? We joke about it. It's like, you saw it on Zillow? Yeah, Zillow's estimate.
I know.
We get mad about it, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like they can see this information. They're specifically looking for someone that's qualified to just walk them through that. Help me make sense of this. Like, how does this make sense? And can I benefit from this? And we have to be there to disclose that. And that's why I said, if you have a moment, look, open houses are on fire, but if you have a moment, you should schedule it accordingly and you should find that time to spend 15 minutes. You're taking them through a property for 15 minutes. If you book these appointments accordingly, you have 15 minutes to just gaze them, who they are, try to connect with them, find out what they're looking for, and that's it. The next call that you make when you follow up with them should be a warm call. It shouldn't be like, hey, this is Ed with the XP Realty. Remember me? No. Who is this? Like, man, you came to my open house. It's like when you get a response like that, it's almost like, damn, I dropped the ball. You know what I mean? Like, this was my moment to connect with them, and they don't even remember me.
Right. I don't have that problem. I have something that's people always remember is that the accent, like really, really slight accent of mine. But so
I don't have that problem either.
It's like, hello. They're like, oh, Gigi, here you go. So they know, that helps a lot though. But did you guys, even on the second call, would you? Because I'm seeing a lot of coaching philosophies that are after the open house, book a buyer consultation. Would you do that? Would you do that right away?
Of course.
I mean,
of course. You're doing it anyways, right? I mean, honestly, if you think about it, either you take the soft approach or the formal approach. I mean,
you're taking the one over the phone, or would you go as far and say, "Hey, guys, let's meet up." Let's meet up at Regis and let's go over what your needs are and making it more formal. Would you go to that extent?
Again, well, to answer what I was saying before is that there's a soft approach and there's the other approach, right? In the sense that in the beginning, you're doing it already. You're giving that sort of small consultation of what they're looking for. You're qualifying them, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then the more we talk, it seems as though we need to roll it down. How about we do this? We take 15, 20 minutes or so because we know it's going to take
1 sec.
Anyway. 15, 20. It'll take 15, 20 minutes to. Okay. It'll take 15, 20 minutes for us to discuss, really break down what you're looking for, and then set up that appointment for that consultation from there. So, like I said, in the beginning, it's a soft approach anyway, right? You're pretty much trying to qualify them, see if it makes sense for you guys to work together, and then you set up the appointment from there. What do you think, Ed?
I mean, look, kind of the same. You know what I mean? Like, I really wouldn't change too much about it. It's really just kind of narrowing it all down. Every question you ask should be ammunition for you to put it into your arsenal, so that when you come across the right property and for a fact this met every single criteria they're looking for, there should be no reason why you can't go in there with the idea of they're putting an offer on this house. Some way, somehow, they're going to put an offer on this house because this house has everything they want. And if that's the case, what's holding you back?
Right.
What's really you know what I mean? So that's the purpose of your questions. Look, I love having a good time at the open houses, and I love meeting with somebody that I can connect with and say, oh my God, you went to the same junior high school as me. Maybe not the same year, but it's like, what happens there? We tend to spiral off into another conversation. What we want to do is, if that connected, bam, we connected it. Now let's bring it back. Let's get some more information about what they're looking for. Let's try to figure out what their needs are. Why do they want to move? Why do they need a purchase? Why does it have to be a fully attached or a detached house? Why does it have to have these things? So when we do find it, they're going to love us. Why wouldn't they want to submit an offer? Why wouldn't they say to you, oh my God, thank you so much for helping me. You found the right one for us. Yeah, because we were listening. We were paying attention. We asked the right questions. Therefore, we got the right answers. So that's how you kind of make it a little more easier.
That would be the ideal scenario, and this would mean that, like, maybe we do 10 deals a month, which would be fantastic. But
I think that should be a process, period. Whether it's 10 or 20 deals a month, you should have a process. Like you said, look, you're going to take them through the buyer's consultation. That should be a step. Sometimes we deal with co-ops, right? Co-ops, it's a little further. It's more work. We have to break down financials. And sometimes buyers don't understand that. Sometimes they have no idea. Sometimes they'll come in and say, hey, I have zero debt. Why can't I afford this place? I'm taking out a mortgage. There should be no reason why I don't qualify. Guess what the buyer's appointment does for you? That consultation, you can sit down. If it's a co-op, you can say, hey, this specific co-op has these financial requirements. Do you meet them or do you not meet them? That's where it would be beneficial to you, because now you can figure out what they can qualify for or what they can't qualify for, and it saves you and them time.
Okay. So let's say you're doing some follow-up, text, email, phone call 2-3 times. That buyer answers you a month after the open house. What kind of phone call are we going to have? Are we going to go, this time is going to have to be, do you remember me? Do you remember that open house? I'm just going there because that's going to happen.
Yeah, it happens.
What value do you bring then to that conversation? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but this is really like happening in life, It's like,
go ahead. You want to take this one first? I'll go second.
Well, let me ask, to understand the question better. The buyer reaches out to you 2 months after the open house.
A month later, they're finally picking up their phone. Hey, this is Joe. Hey, Joe, it's Gigi. Remember me? We went to see the house in Elmhurst.
Absolutely, I remember you.
Remember anything?
Right.
Who are you? Why are you bothering me?
What's that saying? Fake it till you make it.
I mean, look, sometimes they're looking for that warm call, right? They're looking for that warm response. It's already awkward. It's weird. I spoke to you a month ago. You text me 50 times. You left me 30 voicemails. You sent me 100 emails. How can you not remember me? That's the idea. So it's like, hey, this is Ed. Remember me? So my response is always going to be, of course I remember you. I have no idea until we start to have that conversation. I might remember. You know what I mean? Or if I pull it up on my computer by phone number, of course. Here we go. I know who.
Yeah. I know for us, yes, we're going to remember them. And let's say we're following up, because not everybody's going to have those fancy CRMs. Some of us are going to have to use Post-it spreadsheets. And sometimes just notebooks, okay? It's still happening. And it's okay if it works for you. I mean, we're not debunking anybody's technique, right? So I just wanted to hear, Israel, what you would do in that case, what you would say.
I mean, this happens to me sometimes. So
Yeah.
Generally, what I would do is, I'm thinking about it right now in the sense that I've done it in several ways, right? So if, let's just say, Ed calls me, hey, this is Ed. Ed. Yeah, Ed Santos. You know, I make believe it's a different person or a different name so that they can give me the real name. And I start looking for that real name, right? That's one way.
Okay.
The other way, because I've been sending them emails and all this other stuff, and they say to me, hey, yeah, you've been sending me texts. Oh, my God, my virtual assistant is doing a fabulous job. Thank you for letting me know. What's going on? It's been a month. What's up? How can I help you?
Yeah.
What are you looking for? You know? Because honestly, since I've been trying to reach them for so long, I can say that, right? In the sense that I'm going to be honest. I don't know who they are.
You're going to have
I don't know. They're cold calling me.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, I'm glad you answered the phone. So now, since I have you on the line, let's figure out where you are.
Let's figure out what you need.
In your search, right? I know you haven't been responsive for whatever reason. I could care less.
Yeah.
It's on you, man. It's like,
but
I mean, I've done it. Look, and I'm sorry, just let me. Okay. I've done it where if the name's so common, you know, to the point of Ed. I mean, Israel's not that common of a name, right? But Gigi is, Ed Carlo, you know, all these other names. I mean, wow, you know, actually, I have like about 5 other Carlos or 5 other Eds on my phone. Which one? Because I don't have you registered. I apologize about this. Well, how can I help you? And go from there. Because it's awkward, right? They know it's awkward that they're calling you a month later.
No, you're like calling them. I was saying you're
calling them. Oh, I apologize. I thought it was them calling me.
Yeah, no, you're calling them. Because you're the one following up. Yeah.
Oh, so
then I will take that
3
back.
months later. Hold on a second, because now I'm confused.
Rewind.
We're gonna have to edit this video. Hold on a second. I thought you said that it's been 2-3 months, and the buyer, the potential buyer who came to the open house, called you out of the blue. That's what I thought the question was.
Okay, no English. Let me rephrase this slowly.
Okay, I'm listening. Hold on.
Finally, a month later, after you all those emails and texts and this, that particular buyer picks up the phone. Finally.
Oh,
after you attempted so many times. Got it. Okay.
Right. Oh, and then at this point, they're there. You know, we had that one touch at the open house. Do we requalify them? Do we do something a little bit different?
I would refresh their memory.
Right.
There you go.
I would refresh it as best as I can, because
there you go.
Not to get too deep into, but again, we all have little memory passageways that are there. We remember everything. We just need a refresher, right? So that's all it would be. It's, hey, what's going on? Like, I mean, look, I'm a little loud, and I kind of elevate my pitch to kind of like spark it sometimes when I'm in a conversation. So it's almost like, hey, what's going on? Thanks for picking up, whatever, you know. Is this Jim? Yeah, this is Jim. Jim, what's up, man? It's Ed. Remember, we were at the open house back in 123 Main Street. I know it's been some time, man, but I've been following up via text and email. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, oh, yeah, I saw your emails, man. Thanks for sending me the property. No problem, man. I'm glad you're accepting them and receiving them. Is there anything in there that's grabbing your attention right now? Is there anything that you're interested in viewing? No, nothing. Okay, no big deal. Listen, I wanted to update the criteria that I had in my system for you. I want to make sure that you're looking in this specific neighborhood. Is it still a one-family house? Are you downsizing? Are you, what are you doing? Is the pre-approval the same? I know it's been 3 months. I know you had it at that time. Did it expire? Did you have to get it? You know, so it's almost like refreshing everything again. And then let's establish it. I don't want to go for the kill at that point because they finally picked up. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where I feel the buyer's consultation should come into effect, because now it's almost like, hey, let's find some time to maybe get on a Zoom call. Maybe we can break down what you're looking for. What is it that you want to look at? You know what I mean? Let's go through it. Let's go through the home buying process and how I help my clients go through that.
Fantastic answer. Really, really, that's really great. I'm sorry I did not. I thought I did formulate my question right. I
No,
was
it's
certain I
okay.
did formulate.
It's all right. But as you
yeah,
can see,
no.
what happens. As you can see, what happens when they call us. Now you know
It's
what
like,
happens when they
but
call us. What happens?
Oh God,
this
nah,
is great.
that's when you call Israel, man, because
This is great. No, but you
You
know
call.
what?
that was funny.
Confusion should, because you know what, in our CRM world, that CRM also puts you in touch with some buyers or sellers or whatever. They
Right.
on a regular basis put you, make the phone calls for you, and you're like, we're trying to get you in touch with so and so, and you're like, sometimes you're caught off guard, you're doing other things, and it's going so quick. Yes, confusion could set in. So it's nice to have those people on the phone. And I'm always like, would be grateful and say, oh my God, I'm so glad I got to talk to you. We first met at the open house, and I'm glad you're still, in the search process. Are you? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Not okay. Fine. So if you are, yes, let me see. Same thing. What can we help you with? And a lot of the times people
Right.
it's not about you, they're not going to answer you. It's not because you did anything wrong. Sometimes they have other things. Life gets in the way, and maybe buying is not a first priority, but they're getting ready for it. And we want to be there when they're going to be ready to buy. Right?
I
So
think
yeah.
I think a good question to ask when you're going through that process or when you finally reconnect is trying to figure out what their time frame is.
Yeah.
Because you'll always get the response of, yeah, I'm ready now. If I find the right place for the right price, I'll buy it. Okay, have you been pre-approved yet? No, that shouldn't be a problem because I'm good. Okay. So you know what I mean? Like at that time, we should be able to gauge it. Fine. I know if we found the right place right now at the right price, you would buy it right now. I'm telling you, it would happen right now. I believe you. But let's be serious. Ideally, as far as a time frame goes, what would be the ideal time frame? And sometimes they'll say, like I said, man, if I found the right place right now, right today, I'll jump on it. Okay, I get that part. But let's, put things into perspective.
Right.
Maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And then sometimes they'll say, honestly, maybe 6 to 12 months from now. Oh, okay. Got it. So that right there, again, it's not that you don't want to help them. It's that you kind of want to go through that explanation and say, okay, this is where the market is today.
I do something different. I do something a little bit different in the sense that if they tell me I need to find the right place at the right time, at the right price, right? The first, I don't ask them how long do you need to, in a sense, what I ask them is, what does that look like? Because honestly, it's like,
I want to take it a step further, because I would use those contacts as providers of other leads. You're not ready yet. It's fine. We've been talking, we're establishing this little relationship. We like that little connection we have. Let's keep it going. But what I'm going to ask from you, Mr. Buyer, is from time to time, I'm going to be calling you because I'm in sales and I need sales. So I'll be calling you and see, if you can help me with, see if anybody in your circle is ready to buy or sell. And I would use those guys for that. And I don't I hope it's not wrong, because you're already establishing some sort of a relationship. You're creating some conversations where you're bringing value. They may have questions about the market. They may have, or, sometimes they want to look for the great deal or this and that or whatever. But I would use those people as a source of other leads from friends and family and stuff like that until they're ready.
So you'll turn them into a COI or a CO?
Yeah.
All right.
As much as I can.
Center of Influence, for those that don't know. Center of Influence.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. But the point is, and today we're not going to do a whole hour long of follow-up because that would be an overkill, is guys, follow up twice, 15 times, you have to. Put them on a different campaign. Pick and try. You don't have a CRM, not a big deal. just have a method of following up. You have post-its all over your wall. You move the post-it from one end to the wall to the other, fine, but do it. Follow up. Those open house opportunities that you get when you're brand new and it's not your listing, it's okay. Just follow up with those leads. They are sources of deals for you. They could be sources of other deals. You create that little relationship and they become part of your center of influence and you can ask for more business, right? Mm-hmm. We're not able in our state to solicit, do any cold calling. So those, to me, because they're not cold call, they already came to you, you're establishing a work relationship. Yes, you can actually ask them if they know of anyone else looking to buy or sell, right? And I'll be done with this one. And we can end up in closing. If you guys want to add something, and I'm sure you do, you always have great golden nuggets for us. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I'll finish it up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. Following up is tedious. It can get frustrating at times. You could take it to the point where it's going to affect you emotionally. You know, don't take it so much to the heart is what I would say. All right. They're not going to pick up sometimes. They're going to ignore your text messages. They're going to ignore your emails. But through for example, our platform, we're able to see how many times they've actually clicked on the property, viewed the property, whether they saw it through a phone or a desktop. Right. But at the end of the day, if you have a CRM system in place, that'll help you take off the following up it'll help it kind of be a little easier for you because it'll help you touch on these points.
I also believe that if you come from, again, everything is mindset. Mm-hmm. If you come from the place of giving out a service, bringing out some value to the consumer out there, you're going to be able to establish connections better. It's like once you have that frame of mind where it's like, I'm going to give service, I'm going to help you in your quest for whatever, either selling or buying. Mm-hmm. I say selling because I work with a lot of sellers, less buyers, but it's the same. You have to switch your brain. You're just not just soliciting. You're actually bringing value. Once you understand that and truly believe in your core that you're going to bring value to the consumer, I think you're already able to connect dots much, much easier. All right.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, look, we're all farmers at the end of the day. I say it a lot. It's actually.
Can we show these comments and then we'll wrap up? We have a new lead, an Instagram squeeze page where I only have his email. He's not responding to my emails, trying to follow up with him. So it's an internet squeeze page, and were you able to, I don't know, I would dig from that.
I mean, this is probably going to be a lead. I'm assuming they probably just clicked on the squeeze page. Yeah. So they just clicked on it. They probably put their information on it. You really don't know if they really are or aren't. They could be looking for a friend. I mean, if they're not responding, again, you saw the little statistic that Gigi put up in the beginning. So Gigi, if you want to pull that back up again, but yeah, you have to hit them like 15 times. So
20
it's
times.
Okay. 20 times, 15 to 20 times.
Yeah, that's
wait. So if it's only email that the person has, and you don't have another way of contacting, whether it's phone, obviously you don't have address, whatever. First go with the email of introducing yourself in the sense of hello, how you doing, thanks for your interest, whatever. And then from there, just either you can go with the smart campaigns of the KV Core or just start plugging in some information that they may fall into. So, start plugging in how the market is doing. Start plugging in, certain things. And then little by little, every other day or every other week, just start saying, hey, just checking in. How you doing? Can I help you?
And in a way my other question is, because she's saying, or they're looking at my website. What kind of engagement do you have on that email after they look at your website? Have you asked questions that necessitate an answer that is a yes or a no? It's like all the properties you're looking at, which one grabbed your attention? Out of all the properties you clicked on, which one would you like more information about?
So really quick.
Yeah.
When people look at websites, are they lookers or are they buyers right away or sellers? You know,
They're browsers.
Exactly. So the point is that don't worry about the fact that they're actually. Don't worry about the fact that they're looking at your website. Just keep trying to plug in some information. Keep trying to plug in some pretty much engagement emails in order to see if they're willing to talk to you. Because if they're going to keep you looking at your emails, look, I have over 2,000 contacts. And most of them will say that they're not ready yet, but they keep looking at my website. They keep looking at the listings, and I'm okay with that. There's some that actually have over 50 views. I'm okay with that. That means you're interested in seeing what I have. Just, again, look at it this way. You're shopping for clothes. You keep shopping for a shirt. You keep going into that same Gap or whatever. Honestly, you're just looking to see what's out there.
Yeah.
So let them do it.
It also leads me to believe that if you just focus on that one lead from that internet squeeze page, maybe you need to create more squeeze pages. That's going to generate more of those interests, and you don't have to worry about that one person that doesn't answer, because when they're ready, you know, they might just. And you can ask did you ask in your email, hey, what's your cell phone number? Let me text you stuff. You get it right away. Why not? Why not try that? And
even
not
when you're doing
about that one person. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're doing check-in emails, hey, just checking in, or hey, have you seen this? Or you know what? I was recently told that tomatoes actually rot in 2 days. Is that true? You know, little things. So to throw it off. In other words, the point is that you're trying to get engagement from them, right? So it doesn't. The subject doesn't always have to be about house. It could just be about, you know, nails do rust within a week. Boom. That's the subject.
And then
like,
again,
whatever.
And then again, I'm seeing another comment, and I don't want to sound very harsh, but don't expect that CRM to do the work for you. You have to put in some work. What's come from that work? You know, you have the deposits that everybody's talking about. You can't let a machine do the work for you. You need to go outside of that CRM campaign and sometimes take a look at what was done, what it looked like, and yourself just rewrite an email, because it is all you have. That email, you know, say, hey, you know what? So I saw you opened up that link for that property 3 times. What is it that grabbed you about this property? Change up. Don't let the CRM do only the work for you. You need to input a little bit of things so you make the connection yourself. You cannot expect a machine to do the work for you. I'm sorry to say that, but it has to put some of your own emotional equity into that. Otherwise, it's not, nothing is going to work.
And that's a straightforward answer to whoever that pretty much said that statement. But to answer your question is, if you're actually putting in a passive way, which is a smart CRM, if you're putting in a smart campaign in there, it's going to work. It's automatic. It's an automatic thing for you. So don't worry about that. It's going to work. Whether it's going to work effectively as you want, that's a different story. You can always edit that, and there's ways to learn and how to do that. Just make sure you go to the learning portal and learn how to take care of that, right?
So, guys,
but in hindsight of that is that it actually is working automatically for you. But as Gigi says, you do have to put a little effort into this and add your own emails and characters towards your emails.
So within our group, our Alliance Movement group, we have the enormous advantage of this opportunity that a lot of the listings that we have, we actually create a nice little flyer for you, and you guys can create a squeeze page. So you have the opportunity to use those squeeze page in number. If this is all you're doing, just squeeze page, every day you can have a new advertisement for free. Use that. You know, like the fortune is in the number. It's not one guy. It's hundreds. Out of those hundreds of leads, you'll get 2-3 serious buyers. And don't just get stuck on that one person, because if you only have one person that you need to follow up on, man, I guess you need to do something else to get more business.
No, I mean, look, it's, you know what I'm happy about? The fact that she actually got, or this person got one person.
Right.
is that it at least shows that the squeeze page work, right?
It does, but you need to do
right?
more.
That's fine.
More.
That's fine.
More.
You know, you actually
when
when you do something, you do something out of A/B testing, right? Which is pretty much you're always testing the market. You're always testing something or a function that you're doing.
Right.
So now that you know that the squeeze page work, just amp it up a little more. Try other formats as well. Take a listing from our group, put that in Facebook as well, and use those other avenues in order to generate more leads. But as you already know, I mean, again, I'm happy that the person used it, and now you know it works. So now you need to amp it up and change it too, because you don't have to just do one category of either single family, rental, so on and so forth. You can do so many different things with that squeeze page.
So yeah. So to wrap it up, she's saying my question is mainly because I need to learn how I can utilize my KV Core. Well, KV Core has this great teaching section and this great question and answer. Take the KV Core training. Take the KV Core training in the world. If you can't do it when at the scheduled time, go back to workplace and take that training out of the demand classes that are available.
I would just add, look, honestly, put yourself on that system, and it's good that you brought the question up. But a good way to kind of look at it and go over it, just create yourself as a lead. You should go to the squeeze page, jump on there just to get an idea of the type of messages and the type of follow-up and touch points that the system goes through.
Yeah. So this is
question.
Let's wrap it up. We don't want to do an hour. I think we can cover KV Core another time.
I feel like you guys do want to do an hour because it's a good time. You guys are having a good time.
I know, but let's do it a little bit under an hour. I think it's great. We have a lot of KV Core training on our Alliance Movement page. Amanda and Alex do a lot of training as well on Instagram. And what are they? I think on Instagram, the content creators. I am really sucky at this. I'll add all the information in the comments, but we do have training for you on the Alliance page. That program gives you a lot of training, and you have to put yourself as a lead as well, so you could see how it works and you can see what you're receiving and understand a little bit. Until next week, we wish you a nice holiday weekend. If for those who celebrate Easter, I'll be taking off. I need 2 days off because I'm like.
So Gigi's having a barbecue, everybody. So we're gonna go to Gigi's and have a barbecue. So we're inviting everybody on the live stream to Gigi's for a barbecue.
All right, guys.
The address.
No, thank you. All right, until next week. Thank you so much for. Oh yeah! Thank you for that. We need to have that video up. Yes, you as well. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. We talk to you later.
Bye. Have a great weekend.